Welcome to the Day's Explainer. We're going to be unpacking a really fascinating framework for personal transformation today. Specifically, we're looking at a breakdown of 5 life-changing rules proposed by creator Deepak Daya. If you're someone who's looking to build massive momentum in your life, honestly, you're in the exact right place. So, let's dive into Daya's hidden mechanics of success and see how we can translate these core concepts into clear, actionable steps that we can actually start applying today.
You know, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? What actually separates the people who break through and achieve massive success from the ones who just, well, seem permanently stuck in the exact same place? I found it super fascinating that the source material we're analyzing today argues that success isn't just driven by blind luck, and it's not even just raw talent. Instead, it's driven by specific, often completely hidden mechanics. We're talking about actions and mindsets that operate entirely below the surface. So the question is, how do we access them?
Well, let's jump right into it with the very first hidden mechanic. Rule number 1, the silent game. So Daya argues that we actually waste a ton of vital energy by constantly broadcasting our plans, our ideas, and our every single move to the world way before they're fully realized. Think about an unfinished building for a second. It's messy, right? It's unappealing, there's construction noise, and most people just walk right past it or complain about it. Nobody truly respects a construction zone. But a finished building? Now that is valued, respected, and people praise its architecture. Daya argues that your raw, unexecuted ideas are exactly like that messy construction site. If you go around sharing them too early, people just aren't going to respect the blueprint that's only in your head. So the strategy here is profound, but it's incredibly simple. Keep quiet and surprise the world. By just staying silent, you actually allow people to underestimate you. Think about it. You don't waste any of your precious time trying to convince skeptics of an idea they literally can't even see yet. Instead, you operate totally under the radar, doing all that hard, messy construction work in private. Then, when the building is finally complete, you suddenly shock everyone with your final results. Basically, you just let the finished product make all the noise for you.
Let's see how this builds into the next concept. Rule 2. Pain as your power.
Rather than seeing dark moments as the end of the road, Daya frames deep emotional pain, brutal rejection, or past trauma as the ultimate starting line. Let's walk through this timeline of transformation that he outlines. On day 1, you experience the massive setback, and yeah, it hurts. Weeks later, this generates an incredibly intense, dark, negative energy. But give it a few months, and that energy can actually be converted. Daya shares his own personal observation on this, including his own incredibly dark phase between September and December of 2024. He notes that major setbacks generate a raw, intense emotional energy that is absolutely necessary to precede a massive, undeniable comeback. The energy you get from pain is just uniquely powerful. The crucial point here is captured perfectly in this quote, "Turn your pain into power." Daya argues that the intense emotional fuel you get from a severe dark phase, or a really heavy rejection, is incredibly rare. It's a type of energy that, once it passes, you actually can't just artificially recreate. Because of that, you must weaponize this negative sensation. You literally have to capture that dense, painful energy and channel it directly into your work and your self-improvement to launch yourself forward.
All right, transitioning from the emotional to the highly practical, Rule 3. Fixing the time leak.
This rule is entirely focused on the daily mechanics of productivity and how we manage our days. To help us understand this, Daya uses a fantastic analogy. Imagine a neighborhood where the main water tank is completely full, right? Yet when the people living there turn on the taps in their homes, absolutely nothing comes out. Why? Well, because the pipeline connecting the tank to the tap is completely full of hidden leaks. In this analogy, the full tank is your daily allowance of time and energy, but the dry tap is your actual output. Our potential is literally draining away through a leaky pipeline of hidden, constant, time-wasting habits. We don't even notice the individual drops falling, but over time they empty the entire tank.
Now, the number 24 is the great equalizer of human existence. The source material emphasizes this brilliantly. Whether it's a person living in a slum, or billionaires and world leaders like Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, or Mukesh Ambani, every single person gets the exact same 24 hours. The universe doesn't give a single extra second to the rich. So the difference between massive success and total stagnation isn't the amount of time you're given, it's simply how many leaks are in your pipeline. To fix this, Daya offers a stark, very actionable piece of advice. Track every single minute of your day.
You have to become an auditor of your own time to find exactly where those hidden leaks are. By logging where each hour goes, you can actually begin to patch those holes. As a quick side note, Daya does direct his viewers to his 1% Club course for deeper, more systematic time management strategies. But the foundational step remains something you can literally do right now with just a pen and paper. Just start tracking your time.
Which brings us to Rule 4, hacking your own mind. Okay, we are now stepping out of time management and right into the subconscious. Let's pose a really surprising question based on the source. Why is the human brain actually foolish? I mean, we tend to think of our brains as these incredibly advanced supercomputers, right? But it's fascinating because Daya points out an interesting flaw. Despite all its high-level intelligence, the brain has a massive, highly hackable vulnerability that we can totally exploit to our advantage. And that flaw is this. Your brain actually cannot tell the difference between reality and vivid imagination. Daya proves this with a really fun food illusion. If you simply close your eyes right now and vividly imagine a hot plate of warm gulab jamun, or some rich paneer, or whatever your absolute favorite meal is, if you really imagine the smell and the texture, your mouth is going to start to water. Your brain literally triggers a physical salivary response to digest food that does not exist in reality. It is completely fooled by your imagination. So, because the brain is foolish in this specific way, you can hack it using a really simple 10-minute daily routine. Step 1, take 5 minutes immediately after waking up. Step 2, vividly feel and imagine your end goal. I mean, really see the lifestyle, feel the success, imagine doing the work perfectly. And finally, step 3, repeat this for 5 minutes right before you fall asleep. By doing this every day, you are actively tricking your brain into believing you already have this success. Consequently, your brain will start releasing hormones and generating a genuine hunger to hunt for that reality, exactly like it prepared your mouth to eat an imaginary meal.
Let's move to our final section. Rule 5, the Tathastu effect. Now, this rule beautifully ties together all the highly practical steps we've discussed with a powerful, almost cosmic perspective. But first, Daya makes it very clear that Rule 5 only works if you are actively applying the foundation. So let's do a super quick recap of the requirements. You must keep your moves silent, you must weaponize your past pain into fuel, you must actively track your daily time to plug those leaks, and you must consistently reprogram your brain through daily visualization. If, and only if, you are doing these 4 things, you activate the final rule. And that final rule centers entirely on the concept of Tathastu. In Sanskrit, Tathastu roughly translates to "so be it." Daya uses this to explain the concept that the universe is just constantly listening to your internal monologue, and it simply grants your immediate dominant thoughts by saying "so be it." But listen, here is the crucial warning from the source material. The universe doesn't filter for what's actually good for you. If you sit around in fear all day thinking, "Oh man, I hope I don't fail," the universe says, "Tathastu, so be it." If you intentionally visualize, "I am achieving massive success," the universe also says, "Tathastu, so be it." This is exactly why you must fiercely guard those 10 minutes of visualization and keep your thoughts positively locked on to your ultimate goals. All of this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate takeaway Daya leaves us with. Magic happens to those who stop thinking logically. Now, this isn't about just being irrational. It's a provocative challenge to drop your self-imposed limits. Logic so often tells us exactly why we can't do something based on our current circumstances or our past failures. But if you want a massive transformation, you have to think massively, beyond your current status. You literally have to dream bigger than logic dictates. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today, leaving us with one final, absolutely essential question for you to consider. What will the universe say Tathastu to for you today? Like, what dominant thoughts are you broadcasting right this second? Remember, keep your goals quiet, channel your pain, plug your time leaks, and master your imagination. The mechanics might be hidden, but I promise you, the results will be entirely visible to the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I highly encourage you to start applying these mechanics to your own life today. Catch you next time.